Good evening, everybody. Julie here, and I am here to share some information. Subject's going to be child abuse today. If you have not seen Sound of Freedom, what an amazing movie. There's so much controversy over the Sound of Freedom movie because it is a huge human trafficking is what the Sound of Freedom is about, and human trafficking is a $150 billion industry, and there are many people that don't want this information out about what these children go through. They don't want people to know that this is it, and they're all kinds of people, even like Rolling Stone magazine and stuff like that, are saying that this movie is just to get a bunch of conservatives riled up. It's the right wing, this, that, and the other, and it is. Listen, I have been in child advocacy for over 10 years. I am a volunteer guardian ad litem in the state of Florida. I visit children that are in foster care, and let me tell you, human trafficking is real. We see cases of it all the time. So it's real. It's out there. This stuff is happening. And I will tell you this, the open border is a huge factor in this. These children will come with phone numbers. This is supposed to be who they're supposed to call. This is their relative. So we don't vet the people. They call the people. We connect them. Don't do a home check. Don't do any kind of check, and just send them on the way with their family. Well, guess what? It's not their family. It's the traffickers that have paid to get them into this country. It's horrendous, folks. Horrendous. And it's just sad. Like it said in the movie, God's children are not for sale. Our children are not for sale, folks. And I have watched many, many presentations on human trafficking as part of my, I have to stay certified for my, for my guardian ad litem stuff. I have to stay certified, so I have to do different, classes on stuff like human trafficking, child abuse and neglect, and all that. So, it's important stuff. And guys, our children are being failed by their own parents. I've got headlines for you, and I took down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 7 headlines for you to read to you tonight, or to read the headlines, not the whole story, but I did take some, on some of them I did take some details, just a few, just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about when I talk about these headlines. Now, you'll see Florida a lot. Well, I live in Florida, so that's why you're going to see Florida a lot. It happens everywhere, no matter what people tell you in Bad Talk Florida. Florida is just like anywhere else. It's here, it's everywhere, it's all over the U.S. Every single state is struggling with cases of child abuse, neglect. It's really, really, really sad that our children are going through so much. So, that being said, we have to do something, folks. We have to take a stand. We have to work together. Probably the highest percentage of cases that I see myself are due to substance abuse. And folks, it's just this vicious cycle. These kids were raised by adults who had the same issues, their parents had the same issues, and it's just this vicious cycle that repeats itself over and over and over again, folks. And we have to do something, because, when I got into this, when I got into child advocacy, when I decided I wanted to do something, and I took the training, and let me tell you, there's times you want to quit, because it is not easy seeing some of these cases and seeing these children harmed, that have been through so much. The states don't even like, sorry, it's been a long day. The states don't even, you have to fight to get these kids counseling, and you would think when we remove them from the homes that they would be the first thing that we provided for them is counseling, because it's traumatic. Because no matter what these parents do, they're still the kids' parents, and those those kids love their parents, and a lot of times they want to go back. They don't know any better. They don't know that life's not supposed to be that way. So, it's just this vicious cycle. And we've got to, I thought I was getting into it that we had to help the children, but we've got to help these parents too, folks. We've got to make sure that they're seeing resources and things available to them, and we work to get them off the drugs. Drugs are a terrible, terrible thing in our society right now. Again, you got all this stuff coming over the border, and now that's not the only reason. We've had drugs for years. Cartels have been sending drugs into America for many, many years. That's not new. But we have to stand up. We have to do something. I usually don't yawn like this, but it's been a long day. I worked a double 2 days in a row now, so it's like, Argh. But now, onto these headlines where I can stop yawning at y'all. So, the first one was here in my own hometown, and it said, 18-year-old jailed on $1 million bond for child pornography charges. Charged with 20 counts of child porn. Investigators also found conversations on an app where prices were being negotiated for the purchase of child sexual abuse material. So somewhere, somebody's sharing these materials, so they're exploiting these children, taking videos and pictures of these children, and selling it. Again, that's part of human trafficking. They found 1,192 child porn images on his phone that included children under the age of 5 years old. Sick individual, folks. Sick individual. These kind of things are happening all the time. We've got to stand up for our children. Now, this one, a woman gives a minors alcohol, then has sexual contact with a teen. It was a 39-year-old woman charged with contributing to the delinquency of a minor and lewd and lascivious behavior of a victim, 12 to 16. She denied the charge. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do that. Until investigators showed her the Snapchat video that the children posted that were there. So she's busted. She can't deny it. That footage was caught on Snapchat. She's busted. The next one, sad case, y'all. Sad case. Alabama couple was arrested after police say a 2-year-old was found alone, drugged, and dehydrated in a drug den. And actually, I've read two different things, because the headline of the article says that, and then the article, when you read the article itself, it said the child was found outside the neighbor's home, passed out on his lawn. The apartment was the investigator said the apartment was in severe disarray. More than 100 oxycodone pills, powder cocaine, drug paraphernalia, and 3 semi-automatic handguns were all found within reach of that child. Can you imagine that? This child is around all them drugs, all them guns, all that. It's just sad. It just makes me sad. Okay, the next one is a 29-year-old Florida man arrested while trying to meet up with a 12-year-old girl he abused earlier in the week. And that's how they caught on to this guy. He had abused the child, and he was trying to meet up with her again. Well, between the time that he tried to contact her again to try to meet up with her again, she told her family. So then the cops took over. They were talking to him as the child and planning again, and he was busted. Just sad. Another one, a former Florida commissioner who also served as a volunteer Santa Claus, arrested on child porn charges. Over 200 files of child pornography were found on his phone. Guys, this guy was a volunteer Santa Claus. He was around children like that. He's a sick man, and he was around our children. We got to stand up to help these children. The next one. The next two are prime examples, more prime examples of the drug problem we have. A Tennessee father arrested after infant daughter overdoses on fentanyl. The father used the drugs, got done with the drugs, took the remainders and the little piece of paper, whatever, threw it in the trash can. That child picked it up and out of the trash can, ingested the drugs, and was put into, got sick, took the child to the hospital, and that child is okay. Thank goodness, his daughter's okay. This next story, I'm sorry, it didn't have a happy ending. A teen mother in Florida admitted she gave her child fentanyl, but she insisted it was a mistake. You know why she insisted it was a mistake? Because she meant to give the child cocaine instead. Seriously, folks, you can't make this stuff up. This is crazy. Crazy. Those are the headlines I have for you tonight. That's my little spill on child abuse and neglect and trafficking and everything for the night. Guys, we've got to take a stand. We've got to help our children. Our children shouldn't be put through what they're being put through. And it's just sad. And I hate that there's so much controversy being thrown up about this movie Sound of Freedom, because it's a true story. It's based on a true story. Folks, that's been happening for a long time now, and it's sad. What the saddest thing about it is that America is the #1 source of people looking for child porn, looking for children for sale. America's the #1 country that's buying. That's sad. And that's why you're hearing all this stuff. I'm sure of it. Somebody doesn't want to get up. But I can't believe that people are bad-mouthing it. And I've even seen videos where people are saying that and I had no trouble. I went to my AMC theater. Everything was fine. I spent more on popcorn and drinks than I did on the movie. But I had no problem. Watched the whole movie fine. But people are saying the movies are being sabotaged. I have not noticed any of that in my area. I've talked to so many people, and I haven't found one person that hasn't liked the movie, that hasn't stirred them up. And folks, if you're stirred up, then do something. Write your congressmen, write your senators, write your representatives, write everybody and say, we have to do something. Let's change this. Let's make laws. Let's do whatever it takes to save our children. We have to. No child should ever have to do this. And I know I've said this in other videos. I have, in the training I've had, and they show us the training, they show us the videos, and the most heartbreaking one was this little girl, and sitting on the table beside the bed in the little room she was in was a jar, and it had marbles, and it had a bunch of marbles in it. I mean a bunch of marbles. Each one of those marbles was put in there when she had to have relations with a John. Okay? And this thing, how many times a day was that child? Because she's a child. She can't consent. So how many times a day was that child abused by men? It's just horrifying, guys. It's just horrifying. The whole thought of it just makes me so ill. Our children shouldn't have to go through that. And see, the thing about drugs is once the people sell their drugs, that's it. But women and children that are caught in trafficking, they sell them over and over and over and over again. These pimps make money after money after money after money on these children and young ladies. And the sad thing is, folks, it's not just people coming over the border. Yeah, that's how a lot of it happens. A lot of it's happening, them sending people over there. But people are selling their own family members into trafficking. It's known, it happens, it's sad, but it's not just, people think, oh, it can't happen. It can't happen in my area. Let me tell you, these traffickers are smart. They're recruiting people, they're recruiting kids, and they're recruiting kids to, once they get them in the life, they get them in the game, then they have those kids going in the schools. They're in the schools. They're recruiting people in the schools. Your child might be approached at the lunch table, folks, at the lunch table. Not only that, I want to ask you in the comments, how many of you let your children get online, either to play video games, to get on Snapchat? How many of you let your children do that? Do you monitor it? Because let me tell you, that's how they're getting to our children now, through our own computers and our own homes. That's how they're exploiting children now. They'll act like they're a friend on a game and ask them to take a picture. And then taking that picture, they'll then blackmail them. If you don't do this, then I'm going to do this. And then it might be, they want to meet them somewhere. If you don't meet me, I'm going to kill your family. And then they get them. And that's how it starts, folks. And it happens everywhere. We've had many cases in our area of children that have gone through our system that have been trafficked. I just don't know what to say to make it. I just wish there was more that I could do. We all do. But we have to stand together, folks. And if I can share a video and get you to watch a video and give you knowledge, I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to get people, and I'm going to try to get people together and do videos and share ideas and everything. I can tell you, Operation Underground Railroad, that is Tim Ballard, the guy that was portrayed in the movie. That is his organization. But there's so many other ones. I have a Facebook page called Hope for Our Children's Future. If you look for that, request to join the group. I'm sharing stories, and a lot of the stories are from my own neighborhood, but I also share educational stuff, training, and all kinds of things. And folks, we live in a flawed world. The system is broken, guys. There's so many children. We have so many in every state, every city. There's children in dire straits, folks. There's documentaries on it. The Gabriel Fernandez files, I think it is, on Netflix, documentary about a child in California that died at the hands of his stepdad and his mother. Heartbreaking documentary. Oh my God, it was just so heartbreaking. And the system failed him. They knew, and they just kept on making things and just let him go back with the family over and over again. And this child suffered greatly because of it and lost his life because of it. And it happens everywhere, every single state. No one's exempt, folks. No one's exempt. We have to start looking at our state's child welfare system and try to get change, because I know here for a fact that there's so many children. The caseworkers are overworked. They have so many cases. They can go to McDonald's. We go through so many caseworkers because they can go to a job right now at McDonald's and make more than they make chance of going into somebody's home who hates the social workers that could harm them. They can get paid more at McDonald's than doing what they're doing now. So, they're overworked because there's not enough of them. And the system's so flawed. I've seen cases where there's no reason for the children to be taken away. And I'm sitting there going, why are these children taken away? And then there's cases that were, why were they left with the parents? Things so on. The system fails. The Miami Herald did a study, and it's somewhere on my Hope for Our Children's Future Facebook group. The Miami Herald did a documentary They did a study, and it was like a 4-year-long study, 2 to 4 years. And in this 2 to 4 years, almost 500 children that were in the state care died in the hands of their caregiver, foster parent, whoever whoever was in charge of them. But they were children that were in the state care or that had been under state supervision. And it's not just here, folks. It's happening everywhere. So, you know, watch for more videos. We have to make a stand. We have to protect the children. They're our most precious commodity, folks. Commodity. It's our children. And I hope this video touches somebody's heart. You know, if you're interested, let me know, and I will send you the link to my Hope for Our Children's Future Facebook group. And just, you know, I don't know how to express how many hurting children there are in our country and other countries. And the only way that we're going to change that is if we stand together and to try to fight and make a change. So, you know, these children are depending on us to make a difference. Go see Sound of Freedom. Tell your friends. And I'm sure that eventually it's going to be coming out on some streaming soon. I'm sure that eventually, since Angel Studios brought it out for us, that they will be streaming it on their app. And keep in mind, this movie was made 5 years ago. Disney didn't want to touch it, sold it to Angel Studios or got rid of it. There was all kinds of Jim Caviezel, who played Jesus on Passion of the Christ, plays Tim Ballard, and he's been threatened. They call him a QAnon, and I don't even know what QAnon is, but they call him a QAnon conspiratist or whatever you want to say. Bad-mouthing him. He's gotten dropped by managers and stuff like this because Hollywood doesn't like those kind of videos or movies to come out. Hollywood doesn't like the truth anymore. Neither do journalists. But yeah, it's what I've been hearing. It's been a lot trying to shut this movie down, but you know what? It ain't gonna happen. And one of the biggest things, too, you can do is pray for change. Pray to help these precious children. And I guess that's all I have to say. I could go on and on and on and on because it's something that I'm passionate about, is helping our children. But it's been a long day. I've worked 2 doubles in a row and I'm tired. But I will be making more videos soon and hopefully have some special guests to share things with you. So keep staying tuned to watch all my videos. I share videos on my traveling. I love to travel. I just started doing the YouTube thing, so they're kind of hairy, scary right now, but hopefully it will get better. So you're going to see travel videos. You're going to see Temu videos because I love to shop on Temu. Avon videos because I'm an Avon representative, and child advocacy videos. Those are the things that you will find on my YouTube channel. So if you're watching this, please subscribe and tell a friend and get everybody invested in helping our children. I thank you so much for tuning in and listening to me ramble and yawn, and y'all have a very blessed night. Thank you so much. Have a great one. God bless.